Here for the devil? Deal.
Welcome to the Six Most Metal Breweries. We're going to take you across the country, visiting all the hardcore brewers pairing craft beer with heavy metal today. My name is Adam Zuniga. I'm a metalhead, hophead, and Advanced Cicerone. That means if you scroll through Advanced Cicerones on their website, I'm one of 100 in the world. Do you know how it feels to be at the bottom of every single list?
Not good. That's why I drink and listen to metal.
Our journey begins at Kings County Brewers Collective in New York City. NYC doesn't exactly have a metal brewery, but we do have some metal brewers. Meet Tony Bellis.
We're here with Tony, brew commander at KCBC, Kings County Brewers Collective. What are we drinking?
I'm drinking Poltergeist, which is a Helles lager.
What about this guy?
That's Nightmare on Troutman Street. Something we brewed last Halloween, 6.66% ABV, red IPA.
Metal.
Yep,
There's so many ways to like masturbate over beer these days, but for this show, we're just gonna say it's metal or it's not. How'd you get into beer and metal, and where did they cross over?
I became a metalhead in 3rd grade. I was, hanging out at my buddy's house, and his cousin came over and had all these tapes, and it was, it was Motley Crue and Rat, Quiet Riot, Twisted Sister, and it was all the 80s glam stuff. Beer was a college thing, just sort of going from drinking unlimited Busch Light at college parties to all of a sudden try some imported stuff, things like Newcastle, like Heineken. Kind of the 90s craft beer scene started popping up. Most of all, it was all of a sudden hops were this thing that was present and it was way more interesting than the beer I was drinking. That's when I kind of fell down the homebrewing rabbit hole and then started looking at brewing schools.
Any direct connection between heavy metal and craft beer?
Oh, 100%. You're out listening to bands at venues and drinking beer. I mean, that's the connection right there. I don't know if I've ever gone to a show and not had a beer. It's just like, it seems unnatural, yeah.
Did you ever think of yourself as a metal brewer or KCBC with the potential of being a metal brewery?
My metal obsession is sort of a personal obsession. Part of what we try to do here is just do cool creative stuff with other people, working with bands and artists on our can labels and other brewers and chefs.
Now, even if you're not like a metal brewery per se, the attitude, the aggression, the rebellion, the ethic, the commitment, it's all there.
The Brewers Association defines craft brewers like some of your favorite bands: small, independent, and traditional. Small, meaning annual production of 6 million barrels of beer or less. Independent, in that no one other than a craft brewer owns more than 25% of it. And traditional, with an emphasis on quality ingredients rather than cutting corners with corn or rice. We at 6MMB add one further distinction: must listen to metal.
Welcome back. Tony, meet Pete as well as Zach. All 3 brew commanders at KCBC, Kings County Brewers Collective. You kind of function like a band, right? I mean, who does what? Like, how do you divide the duties?
I play drums.
Nice. Animal.
I also play the drums.
Yeah.
I thought I was the drummer. I thought it was the drummer.
We're all drummers. We all kind of contribute to the recipe design phase. We've got production, obviously. We've got a retail tap room. And we've got sales and distribution. So we kind of divide those 3 pieces.
How important is music in like day-to-day operations here? What do you like to listen to while you're brewing?
This place is powered by music for sure.
If Pete's brewing and I don't hear Danzig or Misfits at some point during the day, there's something wrong.
Yeah. What is the most metal beer we can make here and now?
Black lager, black pilsner. It's low ABV, so it's crushable throughout the night, but, a little bit of roastiness to it.
Flavorful, balanced, but, sessionable.
What we're talking about is black lager, Schwarzbier, black pilsner. We can use all those terms interchangeably, correct?
Yeah.
This one's a little tricky because it'll be a dark beer, but it's a dehusked barley, so the roast is not nearly as much as you would expect from the color.
There's 30+ breweries in New York City, right? And there's over 200 in New York State. What do you feel like stands out?
So it's not really a house character that we've got here. It's almost like trying 3 different breweries' beers at once in the tasting room.
our local audience here in Bushwick. You know, every time there's a new beer goes up on the board, it's like, oh, cool, let's try that one.
Well, cheers, gentlemen.
Cool, cool, fuck yeah.
Thank you for having us. Now that we have our metal brewer, New York City also has a share of bars that serve craft beer and heavy metal.
The Six Most Metal Bars, number 6, Barcade.
The original arcade bar with 3 locations around NYC, including St. Mark's Place, New York's strip for denim and leather. Meet Kevin Beard, vice president and co-founder, as well as this wanker, Adam Hayes, otherwise known as Black Metal Zombie from Beer Like and Das Movie.
Number 5, Rowdy.
One of the city's first hybrid beer bar and bottle shops, offering 19 rotational draft lines as well as 150 packaged brews. Manager Kim Mercado is no stranger to corpse paint, with experience ranging from Copenhagen to New York. Try some local Pilsner and a shot of Underberg.
Number 4, Beer Street.
Watch out for Corey Bonfiglio, the surliest bartender in NYC and managing partner at Beer Street. Corey hosts a regular sacrifice to beer and metal with events like on Tuesday We Wear Black, featuring playlists from our friends at St. Vitus Bar, strictly craft on tap, and top shelf selection of bottles or cans. In case you didn't notice, he also plays drums.
Number 3, Duff, Brooklyn.
Duff's Brooklyn is approaching their 20th anniversary, a metal mecca with one of the heaviest jukeboxes in NYC. Owner Jimmy Duff drives a hearse to work and is an ordained minister, while bar staff Wayne Cornwall plays guitar in local band Lies Beneath, and Jamie Palmer is quick at the draw with shots of Jesus juice. Only Jimmy knows what turns it green.
Number 2, Lucky 13, Saloon.
Lucky 13's claim to fame is booze, babes, and metal. Not necessarily in that order. There's a plaque on the wall from Troma Entertainment that commemorates nightly go-go dancers and a live performance space. Owners Melody Henry and Jeff Blanchard are partners in crime. Melody, also known as the Metal Yogi, teaches black metal yoga, while Jeff rides a chopper to practice with his band Eyes of the Sun. Pro tip, don't piss off Melody.
Number 1, St. Vitus Bar.
You may recognize St. Vitus as the bar where surviving members of Nirvana played after their induction to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Not to mention Anthrax, Megadeth, and countless others, we call it home. So for all the free tickets and for every show with my name at the door, the Six Most Metal Breweries is going to make Vitus their own beer.
Meet the power trio that is St. Vitus Bar. Tell us how Vitus came together.
We had an opportunity to come open a bar, and we came and opened this place. And then we had this other room in the back that we figure, hey, this would be good for shows. And that's where Dave came in.
It just kind of a naturally good-sounding room. Like, even if you just played a guitar in there without, like, anything in there, you're just like, man, it sounds good in here.
Our band, Primitive Weapons, was the first band to actually play. We were like, we had the sound system set up, and it was like, well, we got to try it out. Let's see how it goes.
What is it about this room? Like, you've continued to draw bands like Megadeth and Anthrax and the Survivors and Nirvana.
We established kind of like a tone for the place, and people know what they're gonna get here, and it really is about underground music and, you know, heavy music.
And also, playing here is more of an event than playing some arena.
Sure.
You know, or some basic generic venue. Like, it has a vibe about it.
Have you all ever gotten any ridiculous writers from bands that had beer requests on them?
Dave Mustaine drank his own beer.
And jumped behind the bar to serve it, from what I hear.
Yeah,
Is that right?
That's pretty funny.
Do you see kind of a similar aesthetic between like craft beer and heavy metal? Have you noticed how a lot of brewers are really trying to up their label game?
It reminds me of the metal albums in the 80s. That thing with like the Trooper or any of the Megadeth beer, all that stuff, we always get people who don't want to open it. And they just want to take it home. And that's, we can't do that.
They want to collect it, right?
But when the Trooper first came out, especially, not so much anymore, like everybody would finish their beer and put it in their bag.
So what kind of beer do you like to drink normally?
I either get like total like shit, or I get something like really nice.
I'm definitely on the lighter side.
We have drank IPAs or like heavy beers, and it's just fucking lights out really quick.
Well, I think aesthetically, you know, we need something on the evil, morbid side.
It's got to be black.
If everyone else is doing it, man, like, let's give people something to hold on to. Like, let's make them a can and a keepsake from here.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
From Pius Greenpoint, let's head back to KCBC in Bushwick. Let's talk about what you want to drink, and let's talk about what we're gonna brew.
Well, I like a lighter beer, personally.
had
A
a
little
feeling.
bit lower in alcohol. And a Pilsner would fit that in a craft beer.
This is gonna be the beer that truly turns you on to craft, Artie.
That's right.
We're ready to flip the
I'm
switch,
fucking
boys.
excited. I mean, we've been trying to work out getting a beer forever.
We got you covered. Pilsner, minimal bitterness, lower ABV. We're talking about giving it a dark cloak.
Always, everything's dark. The toilets are black.
So in
you know, like
a
everything
color
else.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, color sense.
I like that.
And we're talking about naming it after Morbid Hour, which is happy hour at St. Vitus.
It's like a dream come true, honestly. Like for guys like us to have something that cool, that'll be that good, and have our brand involved.
And locally sourced.
So, you want to get cooking?
Oh yeah,
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Cheers, boys.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Brew day! Want to know how beer bellies are born? First, we sacrifice a virgin. Too much? Let me tell you how the devil gets into your glass.
First, the Brew Reaper crushes malted barley to expose the sweet soul within each kernel, the starch that converts to simple sugar when corrupted by hot liquor or what brewers call water. That's right, just add water. We use our heavy metal mash pack to pool all the sugar from the malt into the bottom of a mash tun and separate it from spent grain, thus making wort, much like that thing on Limmy's face. Next, we're ready for the kettle. Just as there is no heaven without hell, we boil our wort to kill any unwanted hippies and add hops. Hops provide bitterness to balance the sweetness from malt. Finally, the wort is cooled, and now the true black magic begins. Old saying goes that brewers make wort and yeast make beer. The yeast seek and destroy sugar collected in wort to produce alcohol and carbon dioxide. It's a single-celled microorganism, a fungus with one purpose in life, to get you drunk.
Some yeast, thrashers. They create ales in as little as 2 weeks. Other yeast, stoners. They fine-tune lagers over a period of months. Either way, you're in for a good show. And remember, the majority of beer is water, so let's hydrate.
Gonna throw all these bags into the mill. It's gonna crush the malt. It's gonna taste more like a Pilsner than something dark and roasty, because this is mostly in here for color.
What happens to the grain once it's in the mill?
Crush these open a little bit. You're not trying to make flour, you just want to break it open. Once it's in there, it falls down and goes between two steel rollers that are turning inside of there. And that's gently pulling the crushed malt up to where Pete's standing, then drops it down into the mash tun.
I've never tasted the grains before.
It's a have beer for breakfast.
Yeah, it is. It's delicious. We kept saying it's like something you put on your yogurt.
Yeah, it looked like
That's the best way to think of it, right? Like we're making oatmeal.
We are totally making
Adult
oatmeal.
My back's killing me. Mama slay, Tony. I got some metal yoga for your bones.
Great.
Come on in, everyone! Put your mats down. Make sure you have space. You want to be able to kick and punch each other.
Brewing is hard labor. Some brewers consider themselves janitors. Sanitation is key. But I call them athletes. And like all athletes, they could use some metal yoga. That's where Zaskia comes in. For a lot of people, metal and yoga is not an obvious pairing. So how did you bridge the two together?
So I always practiced yoga at home to metal. And then I started to practice teaching here at St. Vitus. And then George was like, how about we make this a regular thing?
Yeah, I don't think the Brewers or anyone else here knew entirely what they were getting into, but man, they had a good time. Does the class fundamentally parallel regular yoga?
The concept behind the class is very similar to a regular class. So we have the warm-up in the beginning. We go into heavy and fast music, so mostly death metal, fast black metal, some grindcore. We're also holding poses, so like the warrior stances or something, which are really burning in the necks and super hard to do. Or we do like the stabbing, the massacre, you know, chainsaws and...
The chainsaw was a nice touch.
Grave digger.
These are all original moves that you developed?
Yeah. I hope that I can get people into it and to release a lot of this anger. And especially in a city like New York or any bigger place where are you going to like have a scream moment?
How many beers do you think someone's gonna burn in the course of your class?
Good 6-pack, I'd say.
A good 6-pack, all right, that's perfect.
Yeah, maybe a 6-pack.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty hard.
Cheers.
Tony Bellis.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Hey, man.
How you doing?
How's Morbid Hour coming along?
It's done, man. It's ready to drink.
Let's try this beer.
Let's do it.
It's been conditioning how long now?
It's been about 6 weeks.
What happens during that process?
Well, you just, you know, all the flavors start to kind of balance out and smooth out. I mean, a little bit of roasty chocolatiness on the nose, but like really dry and easy drinking. I mean...
That's metal. That is black metal. So you all talked about kind of the roasted and dehusked barley.
Yeah.
Right? And that really comes through in the flavor. It is so smooth.
The dehusked is barley, the husks removed, roasted, so you just have this roast profile, but you're not potentially getting any of those astringent tannic flavors.
For the people at home, tannins are basically chemical compounds that can lead to astringent flavors. You can almost think of them like, in the way the wine has that mouth-puckering quality, tannins are contained like in the skin of grapes. They're also contained in the hull of barley. It's a brewer's beer. It's easy drinking. It's low ABV. It's a breakfast, brunch, lunch, dinner beer. I mean, I can't wait to drink this at Vitus with you.
Yeah, me too.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers, brother.
Well done. Thank you.
Thanks.
So are we ready to can at this point?
Let's can it.
Canning Day. We're here with Todd Hunley of Ironheart Canning Company, mobile canning company. Say hello.
How's it going, guys?
So that's metal. That's aluminum metal. Fun fact, cans are good for your beer. They're actually better than bottles in a lot of respects. They are airtight, they are light resistant, and they are readily recyclable. So Todd is gonna walk us through the process start to finish and show us what Ironheart does.
We start out with a full pallet. These are empty cans, no lids on them. So they'll also get date coated under here. Every 4 cans will get sprayed with a sanitizer that we mix here in these corny kegs. And the pressure from the tanks will fill the beer cans. They'll get a lid, then it goes on to the steamer. They come off the line out of the can chute, onto the conveyor belt, where they get these cool, pretty badass labels. The Morbid Hour. So
The whole process, start to finish, how long does it take?
typically we do like about 10 barrels every hour.
How do you keep the oxygen out of the beer?
Having the proper temperature, carb, and then running at the right speeds on the Wild Goose.
Well, oxygen is an absolute enemy of beer. They want to minimize the exposure of the beer to oxygen while they're canning, which is obviously what's happening here when you're milking the product, so to speak. When you said date coding, it's a timestamp for freshness, and you can basically customize it any way you want, and in this case, that's metal. Ironheart is definitely leading the charge for mobile canning in New York City, so we're grateful to have you here now. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Cheers, buddy.
Yeah.
Special delivery. All the Morbid Hour you can drink. I'm earning this beer. Let's get Morbid Hour started. Are you ready, St. Vitus? No stage dive? We here at the Six Most Metal Breweries are a full-service operation. We aim to please. Let's do this. Ready? Free beer! Who wants a free can? Free beer! Necessary. Open up. There we go. More. Hail Satan and beer! Who wants? Satan and beer! Yeah, my friend. Enjoy. Cheers. There we go. It is an honor to be pouring for Artie. That's good pour. Cheers, buddy. Cheers, guys. Yeah, all around. How's it feel to have your own beer here, finally?
I can't. It's been a dream of ours since we opened, and it's like really, it's just so exciting. Especially to have something that's not like some ridiculous IPA. You actually went out of your way to like accommodate our tastes.
How's it feel seeing Morbid Hour in people's hands and people drinking it around the bar?
Even better than every single person in the bar is drinking it. That's cool.
Thank you, Artie. Thank you, St. Vitus. Thank you for giving us a home to hang our horns.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you, KCBC.
Morbid Hour! For you!
We're here for the taproom launch of Morbid Hour Black Pills and KCBC. Let's get morbid! Tony, have you ever had a crowd at the tap room quite like this?
This is fucking great.
What makes a brewery metal? What makes a beer metal?
Being metal is just being committed to your ideals, not compromising.
Does this beer go to 11?
Goes to fucking midnight, man.
He loves beer, he loves metal. I want you to take a drink of this beer and tell me which you love more.
Shit, that's a good beer, but it tastes like a heavy metal beer, so...
It is beer metal! It's metal beer!
It seems like a beer that Satan could have 12 or 13 of.
We have Satan DJing over in the corner there, if you didn't notice.
Playing some wonderful shit.
How metal is this beer on a scale of 1 to 6? Give it to me.
6. At least 66.6%.
666! I was just gonna
666!
666% beers.
666!
666!
666 billion!
I'll drink to that. Keep it metal, you two.
Hell!
Give me a Hail Satan and beer! Hail Satan! Thank you, KCBC, for having and hosting us. Keep it metal. Where do you want to go next?
Hey, wake up! All you crumbsies, covered in filth and mud! You claim to hate the big corporations, the bending on drink mud! If someone tries to hand me a card, I'm gonna have to pass! If you hand me a bamboo ribbon, I'll kick your hipster ass! Hell, Morbid Beer!